Blessings to you, my beautiful brother. So I have here your healing trauma reading, and I'm just going to get right into it. So first we have here is a charm from my divination bag, and this charm is in reference to the overall theme and message of your reading. Now you have this charm and you have this card. So this is what the message is, and the theme of this overall reading is for you to blossom and grow spiritually. You're on a path of ascension and you are ready to expand. You're ready to grow. You're ready to heal. And what this reading wants you to do, what spirit wants you to do is to have an emotional release. There's a lot of pent up energy, emotional energy in your emotional body that you haven't been able to really connect with or allow yourself to connect with so that you can heal. So this is going to open up a portal, this reading, for you to start to face some of this trauma or some of these losses that you've experienced in your life, and start to have an emotional connection and therefore emotional release to these experiences, and allow yourself to feel your way through these experiences. And this is going to help you to blossom in such a profound way, because you are expanding consciously. So this is really, really beautiful. And the spirit is saying you really need to allow yourself to feel more. You disconnect yourself from your emotional body at times because you have so much going on. You're responsible for so many things, for so many people, but you really don't allow yourself to just be in the moment and feel and really, really be alive. Because I tell my clients and my family and people that the only thing that's really real is the present. Everything else is a fabrication. The only thing that is real is the here and now, right? Because if you spend too much time in the future, then you're in your imagination, and if you spend too much time in the past, then you're in memory. So it's so important to allow yourself to be present, to allow yourself to feel, to allow yourself to experience, because the only way that we really truly experience life is through emotions, and through feelings. That's how we experience things. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. So you have to allow yourself to do that, okay? But this is very much an honor, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to do this for you. This reading, I feel as though this has to do with maybe a father or a grandfather energy that you may have lost in the past, and that connection has been that disconnect has been very detrimental to you, because there's a lot of questions that you may have. There's a lot of answers that you want, and I feel like it's left a pretty big mark on you when it comes to like understanding the masculine energy. So this definitely feels like a father or a grandfather energy that you may have lost when you were young, and it's definitely put a hole in your heart, and a lot of questions. I feel like you ask a lot of questions about things, and because of the lack of that energy, you don't get the answers that you're seeking. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing. So let's jump into it. So move this out of the way. So the first thing is, what happened to cause this trauma? Now, like I said, I feel as though this is some kind of a father, or this is a masculine energy, right? And at the time, maybe there was a disconnect, or you guys weren't in a space where you were in a good space, maybe, because of this turn away, right? So I feel as though this connection was severed for some reason or another, and it has caused you a great disconnect with your own masculine energy. Because with this, these are some of the things, aspects that you're dealing with now. The fact that you're unable to turn away from certain relationships, from certain connections that may not be any good for you, and forgetting yourself. Like I said in the beginning, I feel as though you're always busy, you're always doing, you care for a lot of different people, and you forget yourself, you forget it. So these are some of the aspects that you're dealing with now, that you're going to learn how to heal, how to pour back into yourself, right? So with this connection, like I said, this connection being severed, It has made it very hard for you to turn away from certain people, places, and things that may not be beneficial to you, that may be less than, And in addition to also learning, kind of like learning how to not care for yourself properly. I feel as though it's like a physical thing. Whoever this was didn't take care of themselves properly. They may have died because of some kind of health problem, maybe a heart attack or something, but there was something because of a lack of physical taking care of their physical body is what I'm hearing. And a lot of this energy, a lot of this cycle it has passed on to you like it does, because all DNA is memory. That's all that it is. So from our father and our father's father, all that information is passed on to us. So you're going to pick up a lot of things that they had, good and bad, right? So these are some of the things, because you're healing your masculine energy, these are some of the things that you're going to be working through so that you can understand why you can't give to people unless you're giving to yourself first, unless you're pouring to yourself. Why you have to use discernment when it comes to connecting with people, places, and things. What's best for you, what's for your highest good, those kind of things. And also the importance of rekindling connections that you may have severed because of some misunderstandings, because of some hurt feelings, and how important it is to stay connected to the people we love, because we never know what's going to happen to them. That kind of energy is what I'm hearing, okay? All right, so next is, how is this trauma currently affecting you now? Like, how is it affecting you? So, again, your lack of discernment. I think you're such a sweet soul. Like, you guys are beautiful people. Like, your souls are amazing, and you have that martyr energy of where you give. But again, because we're in the world that is not all light and love, people will see that energy. They will be attracted to the energy, and they will take whatever they can get from you and not give you anything in return, right? So what Spirit is saying in regards to this is that you need to start using discernment on what real true soul connections are. And a lot of times you have a hard time of doing that because of this trauma, because of this death, because of this disconnect from a certain energy. You have a problem with letting go so that you can be connected to the souls that you're supposed to be connected to. You get to, the people, your soulmates, the people that are supposed to be in your life. You don't allow those people to come in because you hold on to things that are dying. You hold on to people that are not growing. You hold on to people that are stubborn. You hold on to people that don't want to evolve, And this is what Spirit is saying. Because of this trauma, it's hard for you to disassociate yourself from people, places, and things that are no longer good for you, and in turn you block the new souls from coming in that are really good for you, for your highest good, that reach you on a soul level, not just on an ego level, because most of our relationships before we start to heal are karmic relationships. They're teaching us things, but as we start to heal and grow and evolve, we let go of those people, places, and things because we use discernment and we see things for what they truly are. And what Spirit is saying, once you start using that discernment, you'll really see for relationships and energy for what it truly is. I mean, it's just what it is, and you'll see what is for your highest good and what is not. And also in your relationship, it's really hard for you to connect emotionally sometimes because of this. Because you're so afraid, because you of that disconnect, so that's something that you're going to definitely be working on and healing, is what Spirit is saying. So next is emotions that you carry because of this. What emotions that you carry because of this? So there's two things. You have the joy upside down, and you have the extremes. So what I'm feeling is that a lot of times you may get very depressed or very down on yourself because you go from one extreme to another, like almost happy the next and then down the next. So this is something that's definitely affecting you, because emotionally you'll get to a place where you'll get very, very depressed, or you'll get very, very down on yourself, and you won't allow yourself to receive joy. You won't allow yourself to see things in a positive light. You'll really, really get down on yourself, and you'll really get into a dark space where you become extreme, and you are not able to see through the darkness. You're just there, until you're ready to get out. But this is because of this trauma. You are an extremist. You'll go from one extreme to the other, and you have to learn balance, because we know that if you're extreme on one end or another, it's not good. That you have to stay in a place of balance. So because you may be extreme at times, it blocks you from really receiving the joy of life, because you're in a space where you're not able to receive it because of where you are energetically, right? So this is something that Spirit is bringing to your attention because of this trauma. This is why you're so extreme. This is why sometimes you'll just be down in the dumps, and then sometimes you'll be really, really happy and you'll feel really good, and then the next day you'll feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm so sad. There's too much going on. Just overwhelmed. I'm anxious. That kind of energy. So what Spirit is saying is, once you really, really allow yourself to connect with your emotional body and work through this trauma, you really won't have these extremes. These extremes are based upon a traumatic experience. Once you really face that traumatic experience, you'll see the change in your extremes. They won't be so like this, they'll be more stable. Yeah. All right. So the next is how this experience affects your relationships with yourself and others. How does it affect it? So you have feelings, discernment again, gentleness, and reflection, self-reflection. So at times you're not really able to see yourself clearly, right? Because you have this self-reflection in reverse. So at times, because of this, you're not really able to see yourself clearly, and then in turn, you're not able to see and perceive your experiences clearly, other people, relationships, etc. So the fact that you're so detached from your emotional body at times because it's so extreme, it's kind of hard for you to see clearly because you can't really see yourself clearly, right? And it's because Spirit is saying, because you're not gentle. You have this gentleness and this compassion and this empathy for everyone else, but when it comes to yourself and reflecting on yourself, you don't give yourself that. In addition to using discernment when it comes to the people, places, and things that are around you, I don't care what it is, family, friends, whoever, and something is taking too much of you, that is when you know that it is not for your highest good. That is when you know you need to let things go. And again, there goes the feelings again. You not acknowledging certain feelings that you feel within yourself. You denying yourself to feel is what I'm hearing, and that's what keeps you from being able to truly self-reflect on many different things, because you don't want to go there. Because again, when you go there, you get extreme. You go really, really dark, and that's what scares you. You don't really want to go there, right? So, but Spirit is saying there's a way you can go there without being extreme. There's a way where you can be gentle and kind with yourself and have empathy with yourself and allow yourself to experience it without going off the deep end, right? Because in order for us to really, really self-reflect, in order for us to grow, in order for us to truly evolve, we have to do self-inquiry, meaning we have to question everything that's going on in our minds, everything that we're saying out of our mouths, every action that we're taking, every decision that we're making. There's a root to that, right? And it usually starts in the mind. Where are these thoughts coming from? What are the cause of these thoughts? Why do I have these self-doubts? Why am I so critical on myself? Why do I not allow myself to feel? And when I do feel, why is it so extreme? These are the kind of questions you need to ask yourself, because they're all based and rooted in your childhood. A lot of these things that we grow up and we carry with ourselves, we were taught as children. And also, like I said, it's in the memory, it's in the DNA. So a lot of the ways that you've picked up, of relating to emotions or relating to feelings, you were taught. So when we start this journey, we know that we have to acknowledge the inner child, and we have to start reparenting ourselves again, because a lot of times our parents unknowingly taught us a lot of toxic ways and dysfunctional ways of dealing with our emotions, or dealing with our own self-reflection, or really holding ourselves accountable for the thoughts that we're thinking in our heads, because they're also energy. They're also signals that you're sending out. They have life too, just as much as the words that you speak out your mouth. They have life. Everything has life, because what I tell people, the 3 things that it takes for you to manifest your reality, because we are the creators, the co-creators of our reality, we truly are, is your thoughts. 1, the thoughts that you keep. What are you thinking? Are they thoughts of good, or are they bad? Are they the positive thoughts, or are they the negative thoughts? And then in turn, what are you saying? What kind of words are you speaking over yourself, or speaking over your situation, speaking over your children? And in turn, what actions and decisions are you taking in order to manifest these kind of things in your life? And I tell people, when you come to a space where you see things aren't the way that you want them to be, then that's where you start. You start in the mind, and you work your way to your words. What are you saying? What are you speaking over yourself? Because words are spells, in addition to what choices and decisions are you making, and in turn, what actions are you taking because of that, So it's all about self-reflection and accountability, holding yourself accountable for the things that you're thinking and the things that you're saying, and in turn, the choices and the actions that you're taking within your life. So these are some aspects that you have to work on in order for you to really, really see who you truly are, and see why you do the things that you do. And most of the things, I would say 95% of the things are rooted in childhood, All right. Next is how it affects the way you see yourself. Cards all down. I'm going to move them up. So how this affects the way you see yourself. I'm sorry, it's this one. So how it affects the way you see yourself is sometimes you have this doubt, this disbelief in who you are and what you can bring to the table, is what I'm hearing, because of this disconnection to that masculine energy, right? Sometimes am I being a good enough father? Am I being a good enough husband? Am I the man that I'm supposed to be? Because of that disconnect, it's like sometimes you're confused as how or what you're supposed to be, is what I'm feeling at times. But what Spirit is saying, you have to come to the realization that you are exactly who you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, and you have to have faith in that. You have to have faith in the fact that, hey, look around, look at all the things that I brought into this reality, and look at this beautiful family, look at this beautiful wife, look at this home. I helped to create this environment. I helped to create this life, and it's beautiful, and that's what Spirit wants you to see. You have to come to see how that is. This is like dark, and see that. Spirit is like, you have to see all the fruits of your labor. You have to see all the fruits that you bear. You have to see the truth, not we get lost in the subconscious mind, and sometimes the ego will lie to us and tell us things that we're not good enough, we haven't done good enough. And Spirit is saying you have to see the truth, and the truth is beautiful. The truth is you have created such a beautiful life for yourself and for your family, and that you should be proud, and that you should not have doubt in that you should have faith in yourself, because you are more than capable of creating whatever reality that you wish to manifest. Look around you, look at the reality that you've created thus far, and if you want more, and if you feel that you can bring more to the table, Spirit is like, you can. It's all up to you. It really truly is. And Spirit is saying you need to be able to see the magic that you've already brought, that you've already birthed into this world thus far. Don't get caught up in the moon. Don't get caught up in the subconscious mind and the ego and get lost in this darkness. See the stuff that you've birthed into this world, So the lesson, the energy you need to draw onto so you can kind of release this trauma, this experience. So Spirit is saying you are a leader. This is Sacral Chakra energy. This is why I feel like with the Sacral Chakra energy and the solar plexus energy, solar plexus is all about your personal power and your will. So that's why I said I feel like you have some self-doubt sometimes, some insecurities, some things that, sometimes you don't think you're good enough. But this is the leadership. This is your Sacral Chakra, your passion, your creativity. Spirit is saying that you are a leader. You are a leader. See this is masculine energy. This is all about the solar plexus, all about personal power and will. And Spirit is saying you need to tap into your masculine energy a little bit more and realize that you are a leader. You are a leader, and that you've already been in that position, but you have such a higher calling in the position of leadership in your community that you haven't stepped into yet, because you have to work on that solar plexus. You have to work on your own personal power and will. You have to understand who you truly are, what you're made of, right? What your will is, what your personal power is, and empowering yourself, supporting yourself, believing in yourself, is what Spirit is saying, because you have a role to play in your community. You have a role to play in not just the lives of your family, but the lives of many other families, is what I'm hearing. And you will be able to step into that role once you start to really heal this masculine part of yourself, this energy. You start to really embody this leadership role once you start to heal this energy in reference to that solar plexus. And like I said, this masculine energy goes back to the father or the grandfather energy that you may have lost or had a disconnect from, that's keeping you from this joy, keeping you from this personal peace, keeping you from your own power and your own will, because you're giving that away to this situation. You're giving it away to the situation. You're giving it away when you doubt yourself. You're giving it away when you play into those insecurities. You're giving it away when you go deep down into that depression and you don't believe in yourself, and you go into that darkness. You're giving that power away. And Spirit is saying you need to work on it so you can embody that power and bring that power back to yourself. And stop giving it away to people, places, and things that are not worthy of it. So next we have a lesson you must learn from this experience and how you can begin to move past it. So a lesson that you must learn from this experience, Spirit is saying, is your resilience. Again, your personal power and will, that you were made for this, that everything that you've been through, you've survived. Your own resilience is what Spirit is saying, that this experience is trying to teach you, that whatever that person or that energy didn't give you, or you think you were lacking, or the answers that you feel like you didn't receive because that person wasn't around or that person left, Spirit is saying you have all of that within you already. It's already there. You don't have to look for it. You already embody it. You just have to believe it within yourself. You just have to not doubt yourself, And with the body is the temple, that again, this goes back to me saying that whoever this person was, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, this person did not take care of their body at all. This is something that you may still deal with. I feel like you do. When it comes to taking care of your body, resting, giving yourself enough water, eating the right fruits and vegetables, laying down, giving yourself the time to replenish and restore. Even if you do, let's say you eat right? But if you're not giving yourself enough rest, you mentally can't think right. You physically won't be operating at your highest ability, right? Because you're not resting. Your organs, your heart are not resting. Your brain is not resting. If you're not drinking enough water, you're dehydrated, you can't think straight, you have headaches, you have medical problems. So this is what Spirit is saying you need to learn from that, from the mistake of your ancestors, your fathers, that they weren't taking care of themselves physically. They weren't. And the this is something that Spirit wants to kind of drag into you, that you can't be around. You can't be there for your family. You can't be this leader. You can't take this role without taking care of yourself first. And that's also something that you learned as a child, to give, to keep everyone happy, to people please. But this is something that we have to unlearn, because it's very unhealthy for us to give that of which we do not have for ourselves. So you have to learn to pour in your own cup first before you try to pour in the others. And this is gluttony. This is more so of consuming too much or consuming not enough, And for me, I feel as though this is more so of you not having enough, just giving yourself less than a lack, more so than too much. Now, like I said, this person may have done too much, maybe was overweight, or like I said, didn't take care of themselves, or a gluttony was some kind of emotional some kind of emotion, like a glutton over emotional is what I can't really put it in the right way. Like oversaturated emotionally, if that's the right way to put it. I'm trying to figure out how I can put it right. But again, you see how this person is like just looking horrible, right? And this is because the lack of receiving, you do not allow yourself to receive joy. You do not allow yourself to receive love because you're scared. You don't want to open up completely. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be misunderstood, all these kinds of things. But again, you lack. And when you lack, you don't receive. And when you don't receive, you get resentful, you get hurt, your feelings get hurt, you get lost in that energy, No one appreciates me. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Nothing's amounting to anything. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Just over giving to yourself. And Spirit is saying this is something that you need to learn that you cannot do, because it's not only is it bad for you, but it's bad for the people around you, because you don't teach them healthy boundaries. And when they don't learn healthy boundaries, they don't learn the lessons that they need to learn spiritually, right? And we don't want to teach our children to not take care of themselves, or to do too much, or to do too little, but how it's necessary to have balance when it comes to your physical being. And the healing, how essential and important it is to heal the body, to heal the mind, to heal the spirit, so that you can be one, so that you can live a healthy life. A lot of times we grow up in situations where people in our families weren't really trying to heal at all, or didn't have any idea what healing was about, or, just had no idea what healing was, right? So Spirit is saying you're starting that process. You're going to teach the children and teach, other men what it means to start to heal themselves from the inside out, because everything starts internally first. Everything. If you have a problem with someone, or someone's triggering you, it's an internal issue. Everything starts within you first, and then it will manifest itself in the physical and other people, places, and things. But this is something that you're learning, and I'm so blessed to be the one to share this information with you. And I'm pretty sure you know quite more, a lot more. But I'm just glad that you're on the path of healing, because a lot of our the masculine energy, the divine masculine energy in this world is trying to heal, trying to find the answers so that it can be better for themselves, and in turn better for their families and better for their community. So I'm grateful to be a part of this. So thank you. And also, Spirit is saying you need to learn solitude. There needs to be times when you're just alone. There needs to be time where you go and sit by the water by yourself. There needs to be times where you have just alone time. It's very crucial for you, because you're that kind of person where you really, really need it. It will restore balance within your life when you're able to just be alone with your thoughts, when you're able to really self-reflect on what's been going on in your life, and really be able to process things. You need that time, is what Spirit is saying. So you need to allow yourself to have that time every single day if possible. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. You sit in the room, you meditate, you kind of, process your day, process your thoughts, speak to your body. I do it all the time. I speak to my heart, I speak to my lungs, I really bring myself to the present, so I can understand what's really going on, because a lot of times we're moving and we're going and we're doing so much that we really don't have time to self-reflect about anything. We're just moving and making decisions and talking, and there's so much going on. But Spirit is saying it's quite necessary for your healing to have that space and time to yourself, because again, I feel like you give it away to so many people all the time, right? And a way your life will change once you start to work through this healing process. And like I said, for you, it feels as though you really need to get in touch with your emotional body. And this, you'll be able to do that once you start meditating. Meditate for 10 minutes a day. Sit in quiet. Allow your thoughts to race through so you can figure out, hey, what is that thought? What is that thought? And it's going to take time to quiet the mind. It will not quiet. The ego will not quiet itself without a fight. I'll tell you that. But the repetition is what's going to get you. It takes 21 days to program a new habit, because we're just like computers. You're reprogramming yourself from certain habits, from certain patterns, from certain belief systems, from certain cycles that you've just been privy to, from your childhood, from your bloodline, etc., right? Environment, etc. So you're just trying to reprogram yourself. So the solitude is what you really truly need to be able to do that. So as a result, I feel like this is more confirmation of what I was saying about the solar plexus, of how you'll be able to empower yourself with that solar plexus. You'll feel a sense of empowerment. You'll feel a sense of strength. You'll feel a sense of personal power and personal will. You'll feel more in alignment with your mind, body, and spirit. And it'll make your environment at home, which is, first I tell people, your first home is your body. That's your first home, and your second home is the external home. But your first home is your body, because it's your vessel, it's your vehicle for this life cycle. So having a healthy home, which is your physical body, will in turn pour out into your physical home, and it will also encourage the people around you to keep a healthy body, to exercise, to do breath work, to meditate, to just really pour into their body. So in turn, the home, the outside of your home will reflect this. And also the clarity. I feel as though you'll have much more clarity about your path and how you feel like you need to, or what you feel like you need to do to move forward, or what you really feel like your purpose is. I feel like once you start to clear this energy out, energetically, you will be able to see much more clearly regarding what you want to do in the future, how you want to move forward far as your spiritual mission or your journey. So I feel like that is something that will be more clear to you once you're able to clear out some of this energy regarding your your emotional body. Because that's where you are right now. You're just trying to clear out some of that heavy energy, and like I said, you might have physical pains as well, like aches and pains. Your back might hurt, your shoulders might hurt, because that's just an indicator from your body that there is heavy and stuck pain in your emotional body that needs to be worked through, that needs to be attended to. So this is something that Spirit is saying that you're working with as well. So I'm going to pull one more card to get an overall guidance, and then we will be done. Protection, and new beginning. Okay, so what Spirit is saying is that when it comes to new beginnings, allow yourself to be open to new things when it comes to maybe traveling or taking a new position or even astral traveling. I mean, Spirit is saying be open to new beginnings, be open to new perspectives, be open to new ways of doing things, because you're in a space where you are protected. This is in reverse. You believe that you're not, but you are spiritually protected when it comes to you starting new things and opening up to new possibilities and new beginnings, not just on the physical plane, but also in the spiritual plane as well. I think that's all I have, my love. So if you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I pray that this reading will bless you. I appreciate you. Be blessed.